keen in places, so I know the blinkers were on that day and they've replaced those with the cheap pieces, maybe just overdoing it I think in the blinkers, so he might just be a little bit better in the cheap pieces today.
Surely number 11 Irish Dancer could have won a race like this. Back in quicker ground, blinkers on.
Yeah, you'd like to think so. He was obviously well supported last time out because he was due to go at £4, and you couldn't fault him in the prelims. Now he looks really well in his coat. Probably another one to be one of the picks of the paddock. And like you say, maybe excuses for the ground last time out. So onto the better surface today. Hopefully he'll suit him. And they've obviously put the blinkers on him today for the first time, which just seemed to be kind of sharpening him up a little bit. He's walking around here on, with a march on anyway.
Metal bow in behind for Sarah Hollinshead and Jimmy Sullivan.
Still quite lightly raced, really. 0 from 5. Just had a wind operation over the winter, and it did look like it had a marginal bit of improvement earlier on, but has taken a bit of a backward step.
Bernie the Bear in behind, ex-Richard Fahey, well held in that amateur riders event 12 days ago.
Yeah, he's still not from 11 on turf, 3 from 28 on the all-weather, and he's going to have to step up on what he showed last time out when he was well behind Ben Dick-Duck at Hamilton.
Kit Bag is in behind, number 12, 4-year-old for Linda Parrott and Tommy Jakes.
Yeah, he's 2 from 27 overall. Both those wins were on the all-weather. He has ran okay on the turf though a couple of times, and he seems to be in quite good form since he's joined Linda. She's got the blinkers on today for the first time, and I know he's been rated as high as 76, 77 in the past. 9
is Gidwa, who's at least comes here in some sort of form.
Yeah, I think Gidwa is probably one to have on the shortlist. I think since he's had the tongue tie on, he seems to have strung together two decent enough runs and dropped down to 6 furlongs. I didn't think I thought it'd be a plus for him because he showed plenty of pace, and I thought he was one to have on the shortlist.
Okay, we saw the majority of them. They picked the last couple of them up down at the start shortly.
Pretty competitive this, yeah. All the runners streaming to post, and this is how they bet: 6-1 Eternal Sunshine, Eustath. 13-2, 7-1 Ben Dick-Duck, Gidwa 8s, and it's also 8s for Variety Island. Flavius Titus 17-2, 9-1 Irish Dancer, Bernie the Bear's 10s, that's just clipped in from 11s. Kit's Bag is 14s, it's also 14s. See My Baby Drive, Glorious Rio 22-1, 25s, Calafrio 33s. Bar those. Let's have a look at Ben Dick-Duck's win last time at Hamilton. This is on the 12th of June. We've highlighted Bernie the Bear, who was well beaten. He travelled strongly, Bernie the Bear. He was up there, he got a bump and basically stopped thereafter. He was weakened right out of it. But note that he has been nibbled at in the market today, 10s from 11s, but he stopped pretty quickly. This day, meanwhile, up front, Ben Dick-Duck, who's tumbled in the weights, took advantage here and beat Stormy Pearl by 3/4 of a length. Running on quite well in the closing stages. Had always been fairly close up, sat midfield. That's generally how he races, and he picked up pretty well to get on top in the closing stages, running on quite nicely. It wasn't a particularly strong handicap. Won this off a mark of 48. I'd been competing in handicaps off marks in the high 50s, but getting down to 48 seemed to enable him to win. And although it was a weak contest, this is as well. And at least he comes here in pretty good form for this Thirsk contest. There he is, down at the start. Number 2 for Mark Walford, Dougie Costello. Still 14 he's going to come out of, so he'll be towards the stand side. Let's go back to Niall.
Thanks, Angus. Yeah, arriving down at the start there. For Thigson, simply the best classified stakes. What a contest. One of them's going to win it. Just have to work out which one. Betting tells us Eternal Sunshine 6-1. She's at Fear Goes and plenty of these, and I think she's in the right part of the track, installed 17.
Yeah, I think, like you say, she's only had the 5 starts, so she's less exposed than some of them, and she's from that good winning family. She's related to the likes of Bonito Cavallo, Rory, Oriental Lily, and I thought she showed enough last time out when she was 4th at Musselburgh. She wasn't beaten I think 3 3/4 of a length in the end. So I think the step up to 6 furlongs will really suit her. She's come down £5. She started off on a mark of 55 this season, and she's down to a mark of 50. So this looks like a winnable race, and I think any of them, if they can put the best foot forward, she'll be able to win this race. I'm hoping it's going to be her. They did even try over a mile and 4 at one point, but yeah, I think it looks to be like 6 furlongs could really be her trip. So fingers crossed. I don't think she's overly that short in the betting now, though. She was about 6 to 1 last time I looked.
Yeah, 6 to 1 joints with the Hamilton winner, Ben Dick Duck, who you're trying to work out. Mark Walford had a good second this season, a winner today. The horse is really starting to click in a bit of form. Only up £2 for that, and it's only his 4th start for the yard. So the Hamilton win, he came from a long way back, but the second made the running. The third was always up the pace, so it's not like they went too quick because the pace is held up in behind.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it was he was cashing in really off a reduced low mark, and I know it's taken his time to win, but like you say, Mark's horses seem to really kind of turn a corner at the moment, and just up the £2 for it. So it's not, the handicapper hasn't really killed him, has he? Just that £2 rise. So he comes here in good heart, and he's one to have on the short list. I'm not quite sure I wouldn't personally be siding with him to say he's the most reliable to back it up.
So Mark is telling us 17, 14 and 19 in the first 3. Usta, Roger Fallon, Sean Murray, couple in it. Delegate the lady first star for them. This lad we know plenty about him. We haven't seen him on turf for a while, but he's turned out quickly after that Wolverhampton success when making all under Kieran Fallon. Billy Luckney takes a ride today.
Yeah, I mean, I think Eustace he always kind of looked like he was more or less better on the all-weather than he was on the turf, and now he's a former course and distance winner. He doesn't run all that frequently
all-weather,
on turf. It's just he always seems to be at his best on the all-weather, and he's carrying top weight for a reason in this race, and I suppose it's basically based on his all-weather form. But I know he's a former course and distance winner, but he did really cash in, I suppose, off a reduced mark last time out. So he's another one. I think if he puts his best foot forward, based on his all-weather form and the fact that he's a course and distance, he's one to have on the short list. But I think there's a few others. I think Gidwar maybe is another one to suggest. He's won 4 times overall, and I know he's not from 12 on turf, but I think since he's been with Brian, he put the tongue tie on him, and he seems to have actually been able to string along now 2 good runs on the turf. So I just thought the fact that he showed maybe plenty of speed at Beverley last time out, that was over 7.5 furlongs, and the tongue tie certainly seems to be having some kind of desired effect on him. So I thought he may be one to have on the short list. He's 8 to 1, so he will be very much an each way bet for me if I was going to be putting him forward. But I couldn't have faulted him in the prelims. But I think the one that really did stand out was probably Irish Dancer. He's not a bad type at all. He looks great in his coat. Loads of shine to him. I know he was disappointing last time out. I think they thought he was due to go up, wasn't he? £4 for running well on his previous start there at Catterick, and maybe the ground just was his excuses, and they put the blinkers on him today for the first time, which it certainly seems to perk him up in the prelims anyway. He was, you could tell he was kind of a bit lit up for them.
Yeah, reproduction of that penultimate run in Golden Rainbow. He runs in a slightly stronger race later in the afternoon behind, and some experienced handicappers in around him, so if he can't forgive that last run on soft ground, maybe he could go well for stall 11. I would imagine Zach Wheatley will come out and edge slightly to his right or left as we look down there. So they're loading up fairly quickly.
I think there could be bags of pace on in this race by the looks of it. There's plenty of them that like to be raced up there forward. So, you never know. It may well set up for something that comes from off it, but there does look to be a lot of pace on.
There does. And loading going fairly quickly, still a half a dozen or so to go in. Kit Bag out of line. He's got the blinkers on first time. Was successful for Jack Shannon. A mark of 56. A while back, that is. He's now down to a mark of 47. Ran okay at red card in the context of this race. Run this way, Enderman were informed horses first two. Captain Dandy had won the time before as well. So we'll see how he gets on. It's a ropey little contest. Might be that easy to call either. Good job, got Stuart Machin.
Set me up for a fall, why don't you? Right, last one's coming in. Kit Bag, going to be the last for the Theakston Simply the Best Classified Stakes. That's it. All in. They're off, 6 furlongs ahead of them. See My Baby Jive away to the left, and the blue and pink needs a bit of stoking up to get a prominent position on the left of the group. Out in the centre, Birdie Bowers in a yellow jacket is showing bright speed with Secret Day on the extreme right and a noseband. Delegate, the lady in the black and yellow, is chasing them with the grey Calafrio and Variety Island. Just in behind, horses over on the far side, Thea Bell in the black and white. Irish Dancer is chasing the leaders in the orange and green. Extreme left under the rail, the white-faced Ustath not far off the pace as they move towards halfway to Eternal Sunshine in the red and dark blue. Kit Bag with a yellow cap chasing home. Ben Dick Duck is back in midfield. See My Baby Jive is further back with Just Typical and Glorious Rio, and Gidwar is well back with Bernie the Bear. Flavius Titus off the pace with Metal Bow. They're moving on down towards the last furlong and a half, and Birdie Bowers and Eternal Sunshine, who's got the red cap, a challenge between horses by Calafrio. It's Eternal Sunshine inside the furlong from Calafrio, then Birdie Bowers, Variety Island and Ustath right down the near side. Eternal Sunshine from Calafrio as they race close home. Eternal Sunshine sees off Calafrio. Close third, Variety Island and Ustath, and up between those two was Birdie Bowers.
Yeah, the head of the market, Eternal Sunshine has won the colours of James Callow. Jim Goldie trained Paul Mulrennan on board from stall 17. The second was Calafrio for Phil Kirby and Andrew Mullen. The 3-year-old is officially a photo for third. Most stuff that was this side, more towards the central track from stall 2 was Variety Island for Simon Whitaker and Phil Dennis. But Eternal Sunshine, 6-1 your winner.
Yeah, I think Jim Goldie might get a bit of a kick out of her winning because he knows the family so well, and you know, she's following on in their footsteps, and he seems to do, certainly he's done very well with the likes of Benito Cavallo and Rory and those other ones that she's related to. But your eye was kind of always really drawn to her. I think Paul was probably one of the last ones off the bridle, and she has had a little bit of a roll round. She's still quite raw, and I think he's very much a work in progress. He had to put his stick back down a couple of times and just kind of regather her. She looked like she was lugging to her left a little bit, but Paul was always quite pleased with his draw that he had. He said he was going to, you know, just stay straight basically. Looked like the majority of them were going to stay over towards the middle when the first part of the race started to unfold, and I think Paul was always kind of keen to really stay this side, but she's travelled really nicely in the end.
Surprised more didn't come over this way.
Yeah.
The second has come over from stall 4. Calafrio and has shown a little bit here. The winners holds an entry at Newcastle Friday. Whether she'll go up £6 for this would be debatable, unlikely, so I'm sure there mightn't be that much of a rush with her. Ustath showed good dash from stall 20, and like the last meeting, the winners come more middle to high.
Yeah, she's travelled quite nicely into it. She doesn't carry her head all that straightforward. She kind of has it turned to